You're this perp back with another video, and I just got done watching Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, and man, so much to talk about in this film, and just overall my thoughts and feelings about this. People are calling this the next Star Wars, better than Star Wars, the next great sci-fi epic, and I disagree with that wholeheartedly after watching this movie. But it's not all bad. I do have some positives, but I definitely have some concerns and a lot more negatives about this movie. So initially, when this got announced, it was interesting. Saw the first trailer. I was not really blown away by it visually. It does not look anything comparable to even Disney Star Wars, however you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of what Disney is doing with Star Wars now, but I still like some of the aspects of it. But to say that this looks better than any Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, is just complete cap, because some of the visuals in this movie definitely looks really bad. I just can't stand the slow motion. I don't know why Zach has to incorporate slow motion in every single one of his films. Now, there is going to be a rated R cut and also an extended cut, which I wish they would have just released that, because people are saying that that is the definitive version, obviously, and the better version. And that couldn't be more clear after watching this. So let's talk about the story, because the story is very generic and straightforward, where they kind of have this narration kind of giving you a breakdown of what the world is. There's a lot of world building throughout this movie. So there's this motherland or mother world that is pretty much our big bad. There's this king that has been slain by the unknown assailant, which I can kind of put in my two together who was a part of that, but we're probably going to get the reveal of who did that later on in another movie, maybe the second movie or the third movie if they end up making a third one. Then we get caught up with our main character, Cora, right here in the middle, and her just being a farmer, living with these village people that, are just really close. It's like a big family, and all of a sudden we get our introduction to our big bad of this movie, or at least this movie going forward, is Admiral Noble. He pulls up and he pretty much wants this planet's resources, the village's resources. They try to bullshit their way out of it, but kind of get caught up in a lie, which ends up getting the leader of this village killed. And that's all Gunner's fault, by the way. Gunner is another character that we get introduced to in this first movie. And at first, the townspeople, the village people are kind of caving in, saying, hey, look, why don't we just do what they say, and maybe they'll, not kill us all. Cora, on the other hand, knows exactly what these people are capable of, so she tries to flee, but there's this young girl named Sam that is getting harassed and being pretty much assaulted by some of the Admiral's men, and they're just there to kind of just kick down the doors and just act like they run the place. And this is what makes her want to fight back, which is kind of just weird to me, that it's just like, these are your people and they took you in, so why would you want to run now just because? And all of a sudden this person's in danger, which I would assume that this chick Sam is probably more important to the overall story, is why she kind of intervened. And this is where we kind of get her first kind of action scene, which would be surprised if people didn't complain about that, considering people have issues with women in films beating grown men's ass that are like 200 plus pounds and all that stuff, and it is what it is. But you could already tell while watching a lot of these fight scenes throughout this whole entire movie that, yeah, they definitely chopped this shit up. The slow motion and a lot of the fight choreography was not really winning me over. It's not that good, I will have to say, just because the slow motion and just the way the fight scenes are kind of going back and forth. I'm just talking about this first kind of time that we see Korra getting busy, and then the movie kind of transitions into them just trying to go around recruiting certain people to kind of help fight back. Very much Star Wars-esque, them building up their own kind of rebellion to be able to protect this farmland and this planet from the motherland, whatever the hell they were called. And I like certain introductions, even though it definitely felt like the movie was taking its time up until the point where they went to go recruit people, and that's where I feel like it was it was very much rushed. Like these introductions, we get introduced to Kai. He is played by Charlie Hunnam, and I already knew off jump where his character was kind of going. It was pretty predictable. Another character, Turok, him and his fake Buckbeak character, I like him. I want to see a little bit more of his character. Nemesis, she's got the heated lightsaber blades, whatever the fuck you want to call them. She was pretty cool. I want to see more of her character. Titus, General Titus, we didn't see much of him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they kind of breezed through it, and maybe when they got that extended cut, we'll probably see more of his backstory and more of these backstories overall. And the Blood Axes, Darren Bloodaxe, that was played by Ray Fisher, which, I was kind of rocking with his character, but then, I thinking about it now, I'm okay how they went about his character. I would like to see how his sister's going to react to certain things going into a sequel and whatnot. So like I said, it's just, it goes from one point to another, them recruiting all these different characters and them actually coming face to face with Admiral Noble, you know what I'm saying? And we get a lot of backstory of Korra and who she actually is and how she knows a lot about this our antagonist here, and I'm curious to see how that's going to play out as well. So like I said, there are some things that interest me in this. I think this would have worked better as a series, less of a movie, because that's what it kind of was giving me. But a lot of parts in this movie definitely felt rushed. A lot of unnecessary slow motion, but that's what you're going to get with Zack Snyder, because there's literally a scene where some grains were falling and he had to put that shit in slow motion. I was like, come on, bro. If you would have sped some of this shit up, it would have looked a lot cleaner and not so just forced. And there's not that much originality as far as the story beats go, because we've seen a lot of this, with specifically Korra and Gunner's character. That's pretty much like a knockoff Cassidy Andor and Jyn Erso, you know what I'm saying? And he definitely bites off a lot of different aspects of sci-fi. There's a little bit of Star Wars here, a little bit of Dune, a little bit of just a lot of different fantasy aspects mixed in as well. It's just nothing groundbreaking. It's definitely entertaining, but at the same time very predictable. You know what I'm saying? I know there's going to be people that absolutely love this movie and just think that it's such a work of art, but it's definitely got a lot of flaws and a lot of fucking issues, especially with the pacing and just the overall introduction to characters. And hopefully when they release part 2 or when they release these rated R cuts, that they give us a little bit more with these characters, because it's just whatever. That's just my kind of quick thought, or my thoughts on this movie. I will be checking out part 2, but what do you guys think about this in the comments below? Till next time, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.